We'll begin by reviewing and approving the minutes from the May meeting. Commissioners, what's your pleasure? Have y'all had a chance to look those over?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of accepting these minutes, acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. All right, we don't have any old business, but we do have new here. We have a variance request to vary approximately 3,900 to accessory structure square footage allotment submitted by Black Ladder Projects on behalf of James A. Bibler and Lori Allen Bibler, Revocable Trust. Victoria, you have a staff report on that?
Yes, sir, and I'll have a presentation up on the screen for you guys as well. So this is a variance from the accessory structure square footage requirement. They're at 207 Turrentine Place. So the existing conditions, this is located within the Marina Heights district. It is an existing single-family home. It's an R1 single-family residential zoned property surrounded by other R1 zoned properties, and surrounding uses include other single-family homes. In our review, the application is to allow an approximately 4,860 square foot accessory structure. There is an existing 4,568 square foot accessory structure on the property. We did want to state that in our updates to the Russellville zoning code last year, we did do some changes with our accessory structure code, allowing for these bigger lots to have more accessory structure square footage. However, this is still above and beyond that allotment as well. That current language is that the Russellville zoning code allows property owners with lots greater than 2 acres in size to have the total accessory structure square footage on their property match but not exceed that of the heated and cooled area of the primary structure. So these combined accessory structures will exceed that heated and cooled area of the primary structure by approximately 3,900 square feet. So staff has found that the applicant has demonstrated that special conditions exist due to the size of their property. They are well over 50 acres in size there on Turrentine, and the development on the property would cover less than 1% of the property, which is drastically under the maximum building footprint coverage area allotment of 50% per Article 14, the area requirements table of the Russellville zoning code. However, in reviewing variances, the Board of Adjustment must consider if the use is permissible by the zoning code. The proposed use is not in conformance with the table of permitted uses. In their letter to the Board of Adjustment, the applicant did state that the accessory structure is being built to host family and private events. We have to look at that kind of as something similar to a event rental, party, or club rental facility, even though they did state that it would not be used to generate income. It would be utilized to host those larger events, was our understanding, and so that is not a use that is permitted within the R1 zone. Additionally, with a facility such as this, public facilities along Turrentine, talking about the road, the infrastructure there, is not adequate to accommodate the increase in traffic that this would generate. Additionally, the granting of this variance is not in harmony with the purpose and intent of the code. In that single-family residential zone, again, entertainment use is not listed, party or club rental facility, club or lodge, public or private, and additional similar uses are not permitted within that zone. It is not the intent of the code to allow these types of event venues in a single-family residential zone. So with that, staff does kind of have 2 recommendations here for you guys to kind of look over and decide on. The first one being that it is staff's recommendation that the Board of Adjustment deny this variance request based on the findings that the proposed use is not a permitted use in the R1 zone, and the granting of this variance is not in harmony with the purpose and intent of the code. And then that second recommendation option for you guys is staff recommends approval of this variance with the following condition: that the accessory structure may not be used for that event sort of venue to host events. And that's based on the findings that the applicant has demonstrated that they would meet the area requirements with the construction of the additional accessory structure and the intent of those area requirements, and the applicant has met all other variance requirements. That is my staff report.
mouthful.
It
wasn't
was.
Okay.
Do you all have any questions for me, or the applicant is also here?
Okay.
Well, I've got a question. When you said they won't use to host events, I mean, they can have family.
Yes, like small family gatherings, that
Right.
type of thing. We're just talking about larger events that are going to cause a lot of traffic and that type of thing. Just the way they worded private events on that letter is what kind of, like a JA event or
Right.
some sort of other nonprofit is just where our minds kind of went. If they're not using it for rental but still going to host those types of events, that was something that we could not allow. But yes, family gatherings, Thanksgiving, Christmas, that type of thing is not going to be an issue. So,
All right, thank you.
yes.
So it's, they don't put it out there as a venue is the big thing,
Yes, yes, or like offer it to, a friend of a friend to use for that type of thing. So, I do believe the applicant wanted to speak on this, so I'll
Okay.
give
David?
him the podium.
Yeah, come up here. State your name for the record, please.
Okay, so yeah, the reason why they wanted to build this initially is because they're wanting to get married and have a wedding on their property in October. So, and that was really the only reason why we said it was used as a venue. It's not really a venue to create income, it's just for their private event. And they said later on in the future, they might have family private events there, just like she said, just, Christmas, Thanksgiving. So that's the only thing it would be used for. They have no intention to bring a lot of people in from the, public into their gated property, so just private events.
Okay. Anybody got any questions for Mr. Clayton? All right, thank you, David.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Do we have anybody else sign up to speak? Okay, good. No, I didn't have a sign up sheet. Nobody signed up. Okay. All right. Anything else? Commissioners?
I make a motion to approve with the variance request of the following conditions, 1, 2, and 3.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this variance request with those following conditions. All those in favor, acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. All right. Next item, we have a variance from Article 4.1 to allow 8.5 foot, or 8 foot, is that 8.5 feet, or is that 8 foot 5 inch?
Yes.
Okay, fence, despite the 6 foot height limit, submitted by Nina Berg on behalf of Van Cleef SB Incorporated. Victoria, you got a staff report on that?
Yes, absolutely. So as stated, this is a variance from the fence height requirement located at 2220 East Parkway Drive. Located here within the East Main Commercial District, this is the existing location of Starbucks Coffee. It is a C2 highway commercial zoned property surrounded by other C2 zoned properties, including such uses such as numerous restaurants, a dentist's office, and a bank. In our review, the application is to allow an approximately 8.5-foot fence surrounding a new walk-in cooler addition at Starbucks. The applicant is proposing this to screen the addition, which is mechanical type equipment that would not meet the commercial building design requirements. Staff has found that the applicant has demonstrated that special conditions exist due to the screening requirements in Article 3.22.55 of the zoning code, which states that screening of service yards, utility meters, and hardware, mechanical equipment, refuse areas, and other potentially unattractive places from public view shall be accomplished by the use of walls, fencing, planting, or a combination of the measures that follow. So this regulation does require that things such as the walk-in cooler addition do be screened. A typical piece of mechanical equipment or something unsightly like that, such as an HVAC unit, could easily be screened with a 6-foot fence, but the height and bulk of this walk-in freezer addition creates a unique circumstance requiring a fence that is tall enough to adequately screen that addition. So with that, it is staff's recommendation that the Board of Adjustment approve this variance request with the following condition. Per the floodplain manager with the City of Russellville, the applicant does need to obtain the elevation certificate and flood development permit through the City of Russellville prior to the completion of this building permit. And this is based on the findings that the applicant has demonstrated that special conditions exist and the applicant has met all other variance requirements. That is my staff report. Any questions?
All right, thank you, Victoria. All right. John, did you want to add anything to that, or? If you would state your name for the record, sir, please.
John Van Cleef, one of our family corporations, owns this property. Nina Berg, who's been handling the permits out of Wisconsin, the site manager's out of Chicago, they asked me to appear. I just wanted to make it sure that everyone's clear that it will be screened on the side of Weir Road and also screened on the side towards the detention center. Of course, the building will screen the north side, but they're going to have it open, and I questioned that, and it's because of security reasons, and in other locations, they've had people crawl under and take up residency and stuff like that. So it's a way to access it for mechanical purposes and for safety of the people that work there. So I just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page.
All right, thank you, John. Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
I move we approve this variance.
Okay, we have a motion to approve this variance request. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. All right, all those in favor of this variance request, acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. All right, and if there's no other business, we're adjourned.